Hello, hello. Map your magic, baby. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be getting started in 2 minutes. We're a little bit early, so we're just going to wait for the actual start time to arrive. In the comments, those of you on live, hi. Can you just let me know in the comments that you can hear me okay and that you are here and what you're looking forward to today? And for those watching the replay, hi. Welcome to the sesh. Oh, that's gone all blurry. I just waved at it and completely confused it. There we go. That's better. See me now. We got Cadence. Hello. Lovely. Thanks for that, Cadence. Let us know in the chat. Give us a hello. You're here live. I hope you're ready to do some doings today. I'm going to get some strategic plans done. Going to be making some gems as well. How exciting. All right, we've got 1 more minute until it's officially start time. But what we're going to be doing in today's session is we are going to be taking this next 60 minutes or so to get really, really clear on where is our business at now? Where do we want to be? What do we want the next 12 months ahead of us to look like? So even if you're watching this replay in July, doesn't matter what time of year you're watching this, this is an activity that you should be doing at least quarterly. And I recommend perhaps even scheduling an appointment with yourself in your calendar to even do this monthly, because the world shifts, our customers' needs and desires shift with AI and technology coming along. We are required more than ever to be even more fluid and continuously evolve and iterate who we are, what we're doing, who we're doing it for, and how we're doing it in order to maintain the level of deliverables that our customers expect, to meet the marketing trends and changes, to meet the market where it's currently going. So this is the kind of thing that used to be done once a year maximum by businesses, but I genuinely believe should be being done at least 4 times a year, if not 12. So we're going to be doing some strategic planning, and I have some mad prompts for you that you're going to be popping into your preferred AI of choice. But I also am going to be helping you today create your own bot that is your own tasks and to-do lists prioritizer. So that, I don't know about you, every single time you sit down at your desk and you're like, oh my gosh, I know how I have 11 million bajillion things to do. Where do I even begin? Because it feels like you're inside a giant mosquito swarm in a swamp. And this bot is basically going to help you guys dump all of your to-do lists, all of your tasks, everything that you need to be thinking about, and it's going to reprioritize those tasks for you in the order of most urgent, i.e. client deliverables, but actually what's going to earn you money. So you're going to have my brain in a bot of your own, customized for you, so that you will never again ask, what the F should I be doing today? Your bot's going to be able to tell you how to do that all the time. So we've just had our Trin's on. Hello, Trini. We've got Heidi. Hello, Heidi. And Anne is there, and David. Lovely to hear from you all. So let's get cracking, my friends. Now, as part of today, I have a slide deck for you. In fact, Febby, there are some clickable links on my slide deck. So you may like to share the Canva link directly with everybody in the live chat today so that everyone can click on the links. Febs, you'll need to change that to a public view so that it's actually clickable. That'd be amazing. And we're going to have some prompts. So you're also going to be jumping in and doing some making of bots. Let's get started. I'm just going to share up the screen here so you can see what we're doing. Now I'm going to put you guys are going to go over there. So if I look that way, I know it looks weird, but that's where you are for me right now. Okay, I can see that you can see where we are. So welcome to Map Your Magic. Now, I did put a bit of pre-homework into the Legends Lab WhatsApp group chat the other day. For those of you who've done your homework, yay. If you haven't, you've missed it, or you're not in the group chat, don't panic. Because the first thing that we want to do before we can start getting a plan is to actually begin with a brain dump. And this brain dumping process is about just getting everything out of our head of this. What do I want my business to look like? How much money do I want to make? And so on. Now, I recommended, and I strongly recommend, if you haven't done this, downloading the Otter app on your phone. It's just otter.ai. Otter.ai is a live transcription and voice recording app. And you can basically talk at this for hours and it will start transcribing as you're speaking everything that you're saying. Now, my favorite way for this next activity is to just put my headphones in, turn on Otter, and just go for a walk and have my phone there with the prompts and questions that I have pre-prepared for you, and just brain dump the answers to all of these questions as you're walking. Complete gobbledygook, let it brain fart out of your head. Don't try and be eloquent or articulate. It's just, here's what I think to that. I'm not sure, but maybe this. Chat. I talk to mine for at least an hour, just waffling on answering all of these questions that I've prepared for you. Now, what happens with this Otter app is this actually records for hours and hours and hours. So you don't have to be panicking about, is this thing still recording me? It is, and you will have a massive transcript at the end that you can pop into AI afterwards. Don't worry, I'm going to be walking you through this process. So the reason why I recommend you do not use the voice typing tool in ChatGPT or Gemini or any of those other kind of voice conversation AIs is because they do poop out after a couple of minutes of talking. They just can only carry a certain level of capacity of conversation. So I please beg you, do not spend hours voice typing into ChatGPT or Gemini because it will lose everything you're saying. This is why Otter for me is the safest way to just get everything out of my head, knowing confidently it's taking that transcript behind the scenes. So Otter is one. Now, if you can't afford Otter, I'm pretty sure you can do this on the free plan. I am very, very sure there is a free plan that you can use this for. But if you just, there's no budget and then whatever, you can actually use Google Docs as well. So I'm just going to open up a new Google document here. Now, Google Docs is completely free. Obviously, it's part of the Google Workspace, but not a lot of people know that up in the tools section over here, you can click on voice typing. And press this. The first time you do it, it will have a little pop-up saying, can this listen to you? So I'm going to say, yes, that's fine. And this is me now just talking out my stuff, answering questions. Here's how big I want my business to be. Here's how much money I want to earn. Here's the kind of clients I don't want to work with next year because these guys are a pain in the butt. Here's the kind of stuff I do want to do next year because I really enjoyed these activities. This is how I want my lifestyle to look like, blah, 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 blah. You get the point, right? So this is just another way of being able to capture your thoughts in writing. Now, Otter is a lot better at formatting properly. Otter actually is able to detect pauses, put in commas, punctuation, full stops. So again, I prefer Otter over this because Google Docs will literally, it's just one giant sentence. There's no formatting in this whatsoever. However, what you can do now that we have Gemini is you can highlight this text. And you can ask Gemini to fix it. Up on the top right-hand corner of your Google Docs, you can actually say, please tidy this into sentences. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But obviously, you don't really want to have to do formatting and editing after a brain dump, right? So what we've done is we've gone to our Otter. We have opened up the play button, and we're now going to answer an enormous amount of questions. Now, what I'm about to share with you is extremely overwhelming because I have put in more questions than you could possibly ever been asked. This is the type of questions that every business coach should be getting you to answer. And I'm sure some of you have never been asked or even thought about some of these questions. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to write peace and war for each of these. And I actually don't recommend you write anything. I think you need to just speak this out. Just have this in front of you while you're chatting to your Otter and go through and just give your best answer to all of them. So the first thing we're talking about is your products and services. What are you going to be selling? What did you really enjoy selling in the last 12 months? And what things do you know you're going to be really excited to sell next year? And again, what products, looking at your P&L, looking at your sales, just didn't make any money last year, or were an absolute nightmare to fulfill and deliver? Think about that, have a chat, answer all those questions. I'm not going to read the questions out to you. You can do that by yourselves. The next one you'll be doing is your financial goals. So really important is first of all making sure, like, what is that revenue? I call it the OBT, the one big thing. What is that revenue you want in the next 12 months? And I'd love you all to actually write that down right now. What is the revenue that you want to earn in the next 12 months from today? If it all goes amazingly, what is it? So really be having a think about that. The second question is, how much revenue have you made in the last 12 months from today, 12 months previous? What does that look like? Were you profitable? Where did that money come from? What products and services? Who was buying that stuff? So go through the financial questions in here, because it's going to be asking you again things like, do you prefer working one-on-one with people? Looking back at the last 12 months, did those kinds of one-on-ones excite you, fill you up, make you feel really happy and joyful? Or did you dread one-on-ones? Do you prefer one-to-many? Are you someone who loves to be more in group situations and are more excited by that? It's really important that you're designing your business around your own natural energetics. There's no right or wrong, but you need to know what brings you the most joy, what's most pleasant and fun for you, so that business becomes a place of joy rather than a place of pain, right? So have a little think about all of those. That's your financial goals. The next is your personal identity and purpose, and a little bit of long-term direction. Do you plan to sell your business one day? This is a really big question that I ask a lot of people, and they go, I don't know, I never even thought of that. You should. Even if you're not sure, I would always be building every business as if I was going to sell it one day, because that is how you build a high value business that is built for scale. And that is either going to make you more successful if you're keeping it, or it's going to give you a highly valuable asset that one day could make you a huge amount of money if you decide to move on. So do you plan to sell it? Who are you in your new life, your new business? Actually, what would you do if you won $100 million in the lotto and never actually had to work again? I'm sure there's stuff you would still do, right? I can't imagine that anyone here would just be content sitting on their couch for the rest of their life watching Netflix, right? So what would you still be doing even if you didn't have to work? Because that is often your magic of what you basically could be living, enjoying, and continuing to make more money from. So there's just a few things in there about your identity, your personal purpose, and what you want your future life to look like. Next, we're going to look at our marketing, our audience. Who is it we love working with? What kind of people do we enjoy serving? Which kinds of people do we absolutely hate? So that's really important for you to be thinking about. Then we have your lifestyle. So again, a lot of people build a business to be as busy as possible. I would like to have a business that will give me a day off once every now and then. So we have to also include that in our strategic planning. What does a brilliant day look and feel like for you? What time do you get up? What time do you start working? And what is work? Is it being with people? Is it being out and about? Is it being in your little entrepreneur cave in silence, right? As much as people think I'm a crazy extrovert, my favorite place in the world is silently working behind my computer without a single soul around me, right? So this is what you need to be thinking about. What do I like the most? Do you want to be someone that works really, really hard for a few months and then goes traveling the world? Or are you somebody who prefers to have lots of little breaks through your average month? Are you someone who is happy working all day, every day? Or do you want to have a lifestyle where you're working 3 hours a week? I don't know. It's up to you. You design it. Now, the next thing you're going to be asking yourself is about your team support and systems. So do you want to have a team, or is that just your idea of the worst nightmare in the world? Do you want it to just be you and a trusty, loving virtual assistant partner that can work with you? Or do you want to scale to this an enormous company? You've got to make your decisions around that. Then you've got your brand and your thought leadership. What is it that you want to stand out for, stand up for? What is it you want to be known for? What is it that you need to turn up about your personality? How do you want to be perceived and received and thought of out there in your industry? This will come back to your personal branding, your personal brand archetype, and that emotional feeling of how you show up in the world and leave other people feeling. How do you want that to look? Then we have a few questions for you about your customer journey. What does it look like when somebody comes to work with you? What experience do you want them to have? Is there lots of human high touch points? Is it like a white glove experience? Or do you want to design a customer journey that's totally hands off and totally hands free and totally passive and tech run? You've got to be thinking about that delivery. And then we have a few risk, resilience, and boundaries questions. So what boundaries have you learned from the last 12 months that you need to enforce in the next 12 months? What is or has been the cause of your biggest challenges that you've had this year? Where were areas of friction that maybe created relational damages? That is a massive indicator to a contract, a barrier, a term, or just a let's get rid of it indicator of what needs to change in your business. So you have a little think about some of the risks. What would happen if you got sick and couldn't work for 30 days? That is a risk factor. How are you going to plan and prepare for that? Who could you have or what could you have in place to fill that gap if, God forbid, something happened to you and you weren't able to turn on your computer one day? That's all got to be planned for. And then finally, we've just got a little bit of a legacy bunch of questions. The 5-year horizon, the 10-year horizon. What do you want by 2030? What would make you feel deeply proud? What would make you feel like you accomplished something that you are super proud of yourself for? These are the kind of questions you'll be answering. So I know that is huge, right? That is a lot of questions. Again, one line, one sentence. When you're answering this, when you're brain dumping, I want you to just waffle as you're answering the questions. Don't try and pre-plan it. Just turn on the otter, go for a walk, and waffle away. Once you've waffled away and you've got something, some kind of voice note, some kind of reaction from your face to each of those questions, what you're going to do is go into your Otter account and you just copy and paste that entire transcript. You're just going to copy it all. Now, I've got a link for you that I'm going to give you in just a second. In fact, those of you who've got a copy of the slide deck, if you just go onto the slide that you see now in front of me, this ChatGPT or Gemini prompt, whichever AI you prefer to use, doesn't matter which one you use, the prompt works in either. What you're going to do is you're going to take this prompt, chuck it into your Gemini or your ChatGPT, and then paste in the entire Otter transcript of you answering all those questions. So I'm going to open this up and explain to you what's in here. So this here is a prompt. You're telling the system, I want you to basically analyze this massive brain fart of me talking to Otter. Here is the transcript. What I want you to do, ChatGPT or Gemini, is I want you to go through this entire transcript of me waffling, and you're gonna turn it into a strategic plan. That's basically what this prompt is. So copy this prompt first, paste it into ChatGPT or Gemini. Now, if you do have a paid plan on either of these, make sure you've selected the mode called deep thinking. So if you're using ChatGPT, inside the chat window, you're going to be selecting this like deep research mode, because that deep research mode is going to have a much higher capacity and a high token capacity to really analyze that transcript you've put in. My Gemini fans, just like me, you are also going to use a new chat, and here in the chat window, strongly recommend that you have deep thinking mode selected here. Okay, so thinking mode, because again, this is just going to give a deeper analysis. So those of you who have done your transcript and you prepared some homework, you might like to pop that in now. But for most of you, this is going to be something that you're going to be doing probably in the next couple of days. But this prompt here will now turn that giant waffle into a really clear strategic plan. Now, those of you who are on the free plans for ChatGPT, you may not be able to fit your entire transcript in the chat window as a copy and paste. You may have to, like if you're on the pro plan, I'm paying for the pro plan, you can actually now paste an absolutely enormous amount of characters and words in there. But if you're on the lower plan, you can't. You may need to just take that transcript, save it as a Word document, and actually attach it as an attachment. So whether you're using ChatGPT or Gemini, you may need to add it as an attachment, just because if like me, you talked for nearly 2 hours or so, it's going to be a really big transcript. On the Pro plan, I didn't need to make it as an attachment. It did actually let me put the whole thing in. All right. Are you still with me? Excuse me. I'm just checking the chat over here. Cadence said, that's more than a 1 hour walk. It is definitely, but again, remember, one line is enough usually to answer most of those questions. Like it said to me, how much money do you want to make? Literally X dollars. Next question. Some of the answers can just be one word, all right? Doesn't need to be huge. Okay, so what you will have now is a strategic plan. Now we're going to take that strategic plan and we're going to turn it into something a little bit more workable with, because we're not just one of these boring old companies that chucks this up in the cupboard and goes, well, we've made a strategic plan. Let's now go back to life's problems. I want to actually show you how you can take this to another level, particularly with Gemini. And this is why I love Gemini. Again, it's just so much better. You can turn your strategic plan into an interactive dashboard with beautiful colors and buttons that are clickable. And here on this screen is the prompt. You will see it's one line. Now, I'm going to show you this with a demo. First of all, I made earlier a demo coaching business strategic plan. I literally just got it to make the strategic plan for me. And I popped in the prompt of, please, can you turn this strategic plan into a visual dashboard with a clickable checklist and milestones. And then I just pasted the whole strategic plan that AI had made for me from my transcript. Okay. So the most important thing that you need to know to get this visual inside Gemini is you need to select this thing here called canvas mode. Canvas mode. I will show you that because I'm just going to copy and paste this whole transcript and do this again for you from scratch to show you what happens. Please, can you give me, that's the pretend strategic plan. Can you turn this strategic plan? I'm just going to copy and paste all of that so I can show you how we do this from scratch. Okay. Here's my pretend strategic plan. So to do this, to get this visual over here, you go to create a new chat, and where it says tools, press canvas. Now, just paste in that prompt of, can you turn this into a visual dashboard with a clickable checklist, and then paste your whole strategic plan in there and press submit. What will happen is this. This is what will start happening over on the right-hand side. First, it will start doing its thing and you'll just see a load of code. But look at this. We've got roadmap and tasks, and it's given us, like in this pretend coaching business, I've made a pretend one called Vitality Flow. So this is totally pretend and made up for examples. But the roadmap and tasks, it's given me clickable tasks with the timelines that these tasks need to be done. It's given me a strategy area where here's our avatar, here's our mission, here are our financial goals that we want to achieve. It's actually given us the main products that we want to sell and how much for. It's given us a marketing plan with our little marketing things and how much conversion rates we need to be hitting. It's given us a financial projections checklist based on this like pretend thing I put in. Kajabi. Well, we got to have a little bit of a chat with that, haven't we? It's even given us this really cute simulate growth thing over here. So we click that and it shows us over the months, over the upcoming 12 months. Would you mind answering the door for me? What our projections are going to look like. Is that cute or is that cute? It's cute, isn't it? So this is, can you just see? I'm only seeing the screen with the questions to talk to Otter still. Is everyone seeing my screen properly? Febs, can you see Canva and Gemini? Yeah. So Heidi, you must be looking at the actual Canva slide deck, not at the live call right now. I think that's what's happening. So yeah, Heidi, you have the slide deck open that you're managing and controlling. You need to change your screen to be looking at the presentation that with me talking. Amazing. All right, that's obviously what's happening there. This is amazing, is it not? So that's going to be your next step. You're going to take your Otter transcript, get your AI to turn it into a strategic plan, and then you're going to get your strategic plan and make, if you want to, this is obviously just the next level, this interactive dashboard inside Gemini, because it's just cute and it's nice and it gives you a visual of your mission, which is very exciting. Now, what are we going to do next? Glad you asked. Because what's happened now is this Gemini, she's so cute, has given us a bunch of to-do lists, a bunch of tasks that we need to go and execute and make sure happens. Now, we all know if we just leave this chat inside our AI, it's going to get buried in the chat thread and disappear pretty quickly. And before we know it, we'll be back to being ADHD squirrels on cocaine, not wondering what we're doing, right? We don't want to do that. We want to know what we're doing. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to teach the system that Techmatics, not Kajabi, is where you should be working with your courses and your platform. But the next task on your slide deck is to turn your to-dos into results. So first, we're going to copy and paste every single one of these tasks that we have now got from our strategic plan into our to-do list task manager. Now, you're going to have one of your preferred. I know some of you like using Notion, some of you use Monday, some of you use ClickUp, some of you should not be using random post-it notes everywhere. But I recommend that you use the task manager in Techmatics. Okay, so I've got my little pretend account over here. You've got over here on the left-hand menu, tasks. And this is where you can now go in, and I'll be jumping into my Gemini and copying that task. Is it going to let me copy it? Copy, copy, copy. Copy. Go to tasks, add a new task. Is it going to let me do that? No. Create membership inside Techmatics. Okay, and you can get subtasks for this later, blah, 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 blah. Book a call with a Techspert, book a 1 hour call with Sarah Cordiner. You can literally get your membership set up in 3 hours, blah, 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 blah. Date and time that it's due, pick your due date and time. If it's a recurring task, something that needs to be done weekly, you can set that up, but this is a one-off task, and then assign it to somebody. Say, well, that's my task. I've got to do that. And then press save. And you can press save and add another as well if you want to, but save, done. Now, the cool thing about this task manager is you can actually add it to your main dashboard. I am going to show you how you can do that, but on your main dashboard over here, you can press edit dashboard and you can actually move your tasks to the top of your list. So if I press edit dashboard over here, I like to, in my real account, this is a pretend one, obviously, I like to have my tasks right at the very, very top because it's the first thing you see when you log into your account. And when you're in edit mode, you can make this nice and big and I can press save changes. So now whenever I log in, my tasks are right at the top here. And I love having it set to whose tasks. So it might be just me I want to see and tasks that are pending. And so you see there, I've only got one task now assigned to me. But if in this pretend account, I'll select all users. This shows all the tasks. Oh no, look at all these overdue tasks that was supposed to be done in 2023. Don't worry, it's just pretend. So this is a really cool way for you to instantaneously start your day knowing what you need to do. Now, the other reason why I love this that you'll see later, because you're going to build a to-do list prioritization bot, is when I sit down at my desk, and sometimes just like everyone else, I have those days where I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to do on my to-do list. What do I prioritize first? All I do is I come in here and I just copy all of my tasks and I stick them in my to-do list prioritizer bot. I just copy and paste them all in and go, here is the shit show of my dashboard and all my tasks I need to do. Please reprioritize them for me. And then it will reprioritize them. And all I got to do is go and change my due dates based on what's most important. But don't worry, we're going to be doing that in a moment. I'm just jumping ahead a little bit for you here. So all you're going to do is just take each of these tasks, copy and paste them into your task manager. So now you have this one single place of truth for where all of your to-do lists live. Now, make sure you download the Techmatics mobile app. The Techmatics mobile app is just called Lead Connector. And this Lead Connector app, which is really good, so I'm just going to see if we can open up a demo for you on here, is inside the app, you have, this is just too small for you to see, isn't it? Sorry, let's remove this. inside the app, you can actually go straight to tasks there in the mobile app and see all of your tasks from your mobile phone. But the reason why I love having this on my mobile is to just instantaneously get ideas out of my head or things that I need to do. Because again, I know that most of us just have constant stream of thoughts. Got to do this. Oh crap, I need to do that. And I'll usually remember when I'm in the car or I'm having a walk or I'm in the kitchen making the kids' lunch boxes. So on your to-do, your Techmatics mobile app that you have, when you click inside the tasks area at the bottom, you have the plus button where you can literally add the task. So I might have thought to myself, oh crap, I've got to remember to send that contract to somebody. I can just go to my phone without having to run to my computer. And literally, I just use my voice typing tool. Don't forget to send the contract to David. Done. And I just press save. So now it's in my to-do list manager. It's out of my head. I can let go of that thought. It's in there. And later I can again grab all of those tasks and put them in my to-do list prioritization bot that you're going to have your own version of today. Can you see now how this starts bringing some organization and practicality to what we're doing? So Cadence has just asked a question. She said, would it make sense to expand on the details of the task before adding it to Techmatics? Now, I personally like to just get the task in Techmatics. Just get the title in there, because later on when we start, now we know what tasks need to be done in what order, then we can go and create a SOP or a procedure or a detailed action plan for each of those tasks when we approach them. Okay, for me, it's more about let's just get the tasks in there, get them in priority order. Then as we attach each one, then we can create from AI, please give me a detailed step-by-step action plan to complete this task. Cool. Thank you for asking that question. That was a good one. Next. We are going to build a to-do list prioritizer bot. And we're going to do it right now. Who wants to do that right now? Yes, please. So what you're going to do is click on this link, and I also will put in the shared link for you in just directly in the chat, but it is inside your, oh, Febby's already done it. Has she already done it? I think so. I'll stick it in the live chat anyway. Those of you watching the replay, everything that you see that we're doing in this video, you have the links to in the replay area, in the text area, in the slides. They're all there for you. So my friends, you can do this next task in your preferred AI. If you like using ChatGPT to create your custom GPTs, use that. If you like using Gemini to create gems, use that. I put them in both. So first, I'll just demo where to do this in ChatGPT, because I know there are still some people who are new, that have never made a custom GPT before. But essentially, this bot that you're going to create for yourself is going to enable you to essentially every day, you're just going to brain dump all of your to-do lists in it. So as I showed you before, one of the things I do is just go into my Techmatics tasks, because some of these, I've put down there when I was on a walk or on the toilet. Some of them are strategically from my plan. I'm just going to copy and paste those into my bot and say, here's all my tasks. Help me reprioritize this. The other thing I do is once you've got this bot, you can talk to it. So I can go, right, okay, here's another load of stuff I need to do. Here's more stuff I've just suddenly thought of. Oh my gosh, I've got that workshop or event next week I need to prepare for. I just talk to it and it will go, okay, Sarah, here's your order. Because the instructions I've given you, so from this point onwards, where it says bot instructions, all you're going to do is copy and paste this. You don't have to edit anything. You don't have to type anything in. Your only job right now is just simply to copy. Press copy. Everybody press copy. Don't do anything else. You don't need to type or edit this document at all. I've done it all for you. So you're going to go to your preferred AI. First of all, I'm going to demo this inside ChatGPT. So inside ChatGPT, find GPTs on the left-hand side and click Explore. Explore GPTs. Now, if you're on a free plan, you won't have this. Unfortunately, with ChatGPT, this is only on paid plans, but I will show you anyway. On the top right-hand corner of my screen, you'll see I have a button called Create a GPT. And where it says Instructions, literally just press Paste. That's all you're doing is pasting in the custom GPT instructions for making your own to-do list prioritization bot. So I'm just now going to go back to my chat GPT. What's the name of your bot? The name of your bot, you can call it whatever you want. I just call mine to-do list prioritization bot. But if you want to call him Billy the bot or Tanya the task manager, whatever, you call your name whatever you want. To-do list prioritization bot. Description. This is only for you. So manages and prioritizes my to-do list. Right? You're the only one seeing that. So don't worry about it. The instructions you've copied and pasted in. Conversation starters you don't need because you're not publicly sharing this custom GPT with anyone. So just ignore conversation starters. You don't need one. There's at this point not a knowledge base that you need to add, but what I would suggest adding inside here where it says knowledge upload files is your strategic plan. It just helps the system constantly play context to your goals. So here I would take my strategic plan, I've saved it as a Google Doc or a Word document, and I've uploaded it here. Okay. In terms of what model is recommended, what options you have will depend on the plan that you're on. Okay, so you may not have all of these options showing. I'm on a pro plan, so I have more options here. If you have a thinking mode, pick the thinking mode. This will make your bot go a bit slower, but it, again, on thinking mode, does a much deeper analysis. It has much better sort of problem solving and analytical solving skills on thinking mode. So if you have thinking mode, pick that. Otherwise, just pick the highest model that you've got. You don't need code interpretation, so just ignore all of that. All you're going to do, you can give it a cute picture if you want to. Doesn't matter if you don't. You're just going to press create bot, and only you need this. Okay, so you don't need to have public links or anything like that. It's only you that's going to be using this. So press save. Done. You now have a bot. In fact, I will just save mine. So let's do this. Add a little photo. And in fact, I'm not even going to lose a photo. I'm just going to do only me. Press save. And now we have a little bitty bot. David has asked why this is loading and saving. Is a bot and an AI agent the same thing? No, absolutely not. So this custom GPT is the correct language for this. A custom GPT or a custom gem. All it is a chat thread that has been customized with a specific task. That's it. It's just called a GPT. It's just a chat thread that just has some pre-contextual information and specific instructions behind it. An AI agent, agentic AI, is something that goes and actually conducts tasks for you. An AI agent will go off, click screens, click buttons, research, do, and act for you. So think of an agent like a real robot that can press buttons and build things for you. A custom GPT, it's just text instructions, giving out text outputs, the end. Hope that makes sense. I know there's a lot of new language to learn around here, and a lot of people use very different language. But I'll just show you what's happened now. If you've done this in ChatGPT, here's what you're going to see. Press View GPT, and it's going to open up your little GPT in a normal chat window. So you can see here now on the top left-hand corner, it says To-Do List Prioritization Bot. Now, press the drop down on this left-hand corner, and I strongly recommend that you pin it to your sidebar. So mine's actually automatically done that. Here it will say pin to sidebar. And the reason why you want it as pin to sidebar is so that you can see it over here on your left-hand side. So now every time I log into my ChatGPT, I've got my to-do list there. So what I can do now, just to give you a test, is I'm just going to take these completely random tasks. I'm going to press copy. And I am going to just simply go to my bot every morning and go, here's all my tasks, shit, and press send. All I've done is dump the tasks in there. Now, this is going to be random as because these are totally dummy, bizarre tasks. But here we go. It's going to now go through the tasks that I've dumped into it. And hopefully, it's going to now reprioritize my tasks based on the top actions I need to do. Now, obviously, I haven't put a strategic plan into here, so it's not going to give me anything real, but that's basically what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to show you how to do exactly the same thing inside Gemini. So those of you who like Gemini, in Gemini, these little custom GPTs are called gems, which is very cute. So you'll see on the left-hand side here, I've started recreating some gems inside my account. So what we do inside Gemini, if you want to create exactly the same thing over here, is you click on gems on the left-hand corner. Now, again, this will be, if you see this or not, dependent on whether you've switched on your AI inside Google Workspace. If you use Google Workspace, you have all of the advanced Gemini features included as part of your plan. I think it's like $25 a month Australian, something like that. So it's way cheaper than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is $200 a month, and Gemini is 25 Australian dollars a month. That's included with your whole Workspace account. Now, just to, if you can't see all of your AI features, if you're using Google and the Google system, it probably means you haven't turned them on in your Google Workspace account. So I'm going to show you where to do that. To get to your Google admin account, open up a new Google channel over here. Click on your face. Not your face. My apologies. Next to your face, the little potato waffle. Let me make this bigger for you. Where you've got your face, next to it, you've got a potato waffle. Click on the potato waffle, scroll down until you find this admin icon here. You click on your admin icon, and this is where you're going to turn on all your AI features and all of your Gemini features. So let me just make sure I'm logged in. I hope that's the right password. And check my phone. Yeah, I'm going to check my phone. Ding. Yes, it's me. Good security. Lovely jubbly. Inside your Google account, you will find on the left-hand menu, when it comes up in just a second, over on your left-hand menu, let's make this bigger for you. You've got the generative AI. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Left-hand menu, generative AI. See that? You've got your little Gemini logo over here. What you need to do is just go through each of these sections and turn everything on. So I'm going to click on the Gemini app, and you need to make sure that here it says on for everyone. So you just press the drop down, turn it to on for everyone. User access, turn everything on. Apps, yes, turn everything on. Gemini conversation history, yes, please save my history. This means it's not sharing it with the world, it's sharing it within your Google Workspace account, so it creates an internal memory, okay? Gems, do you want to use gems? Yes, turn that on. That's really important. Next thing, where it says Gemini for Workspace, click on Net. And this here, alpha features, this means, do you want to have current features that are new? Yes, we do. So alpha features, turn on. This is going to give you gems and canvas and all that kind of fun stuff you've seen me playing with today. And allow users to request upgrades. Yes, even if it's just you, just turn it all on, okay? It's all good and safe. Now, the other sexy tool that Google has is something called Notebook LM. I did mention and cover this in the AI Your Business Bootcamp last month, but this is an incredible deep research tool and an amazing way to extract content, knowledge, data, research, and information. Creates incredible graphics, audio overviews, just loads of stuff. I'm not going to go into teaching that today, but again, turn that on because it's included in your workspace plan if you're using Google. So this is very exciting. Make sure you've turned all that stuff on, and then this is going to give you all these features. It's going to give you gems. All right. That's, if you can't see it, probably why. It may mean you've got it all turned off behind the scenes. So I've clicked on gems, and we're going to press big blue button here, create a new gem. And again, all you got to do is go in to these instructions for your to-do list prioritizer and copy and paste them in. Copy and paste them in. Copy, gem, instructions, paste. Give it a title. I'm just going to call mine the to-do list prioritization bot again because it's super simple. Organizes my to-do list based on strategic plan. Okay. And where it says knowledge here, in exactly the same way you have your knowledge base in ChatGPT, this is where I would press add a file, and I would add from Drive because I use the Google Drive, and I'll go and find my strategic plan. I can't spell. Strategic plan. Am I in the right folder? Probably not. Probably in some wrong Google folder. I can't even find it, but I'll go and find my strategic plan. I think I'm in the wrong Google account right now. I would upload it, but you can just attach it as a file. I could just press upload file here, put my strategic plan in there, press save. And bam, you will now have a to-do list prioritization bot. There we go. Look at my left-hand menu now. Now I've got my little astrologer bot. I've got my clone, and now I've got my to-do list prioritization bot. Yay! Can you do that or can you do that? I can do that. I can do that. All right, so let me just go back to ChatGPT because this is finished with my random to-do list I put in here. And you can see now it has reprioritized my tasks. So it's put it all in the right order, told me why I need to do it. It's given me my medium-term goals that I need to do second and why I need to do them. And it's given me then my scale and growth tasks that I need to do third. It's given me some suggestions for automation and scaling through tech. And it will also give you a bunch of random deprioritized tasks that don't directly help you move towards achieving your strategic plan. So what I do now that I've got a list of tasks to do, here is the important part. Again, I would now, if any of those tasks were already in my Techmatics to-do list, what I would do now is go to the to-do list and change the due date on all of the tasks based on the new order of prioritization. Because the priority last week might be different to the priority this week based on the stuff, the events, the client deliverables, the projects, whatever it is we're working on. So I would go through these now. How to bake a cake was on my to-do list. That was a big priority last week, but now it's not a priority. So I'm going to click edit on the task, go to the date, and I'm literally just going to change the date to whatever period of time my bot, my to-do list priority bot, has suggested we change it to. So now my to-do list will actually reflect what tasks need to be done now in what priority order. And what will also happen from your to-do list priority bot is in those instructions, we've trained it to give us new tasks that we may not have thought about that do need to be done in order to achieve the strategic plan. So if there's any new tasks on here, for instance, clear email inbox, that isn't already on my to-do list, then we're going to go and just now add those in. Okay, and that's saying we need to do that today. That's a priority task that I need to get done today. Okay, and save. So now again, we've got one source of truth, one place where all our tasks live. Guess what we do next week or tomorrow? Again, I come in, I copy and paste all of my tasks that are in here, and I come back to my bot and paste them in again, and it will reprioritize and fill the gaps for me again next time. Is that cool or is that cool? Do you love it? Do you love it? Of course you love it. Oh, what's this wizardry we've got coming up here? Okay, so now you've got a strategic plan. You've made it beautiful. You've got an interactive dashboard. You've got a to-do list prioritizer bot of your own to now forevermore guide you on what you should be doing because it's trained and informed by your strategic plan. And you now have a place, a source of truth where you're continuously using all of these tools together to keep yourself focused and organized every single day on tasks that are actually moving you towards your goal. What we're going to do now is we're going to start kind of looking at the upcoming year ahead. Now, all of you have seen, if you've been on my training before, that I reinforce over and over again how important it is to plan the whole of the next 12 months that are ahead of you from whatever today you're watching this at. If you're running training, boot camps, workshops, webinars, memberships, whatever, you should have some kind of calendar where you have planned out your main events or commitments to deliver whatever it is that you're doing for the year. So you can do this on a Google Sheet. That's all this is I just kind of plan out, what am I going to run in January? What am I going to run in February? What am I going to run in March, right? This is an old one, so just ignore the dates on this. It's not real. It's just for demonstration only. Alternatively, you might like to have the whole year in front of you like this, where you can just go into Canva. This is just a Canva calendar that I found in Canva templates. And you can start planning it out this way if you want, because this is actually going to be what you guys are going to get for 2026. You will get something that will show all of the dates for the whole year for all of our live calls, all of our workshops, and all that kind of fun stuff, right? So you might like to do it like this, but whatever you do, whatever tool you use to map it out, please make sure you stick it in your calendar. All right, please make sure you stick it in your calendar. One of the things that I love most about how good Gemini is because it connects to all of your Google platform, your Google Calendar, your Google Drive, your calls, your Google, everything. I can now just go to my Gemini and say, help me prepare for all of my upcoming events. And it will go through my calendar and find all of the upcoming meetings, all the appointments and calls that I've got, and it will pull those in as part of my priorities and my tasks and my to-dos. So this is just extra layer of fun and cleverness. So whatever you do, plan your year. Now, if you have kids, in fact, even if you don't have kids, I strongly recommend that if you are running training in a location or with people who have children, that you make sure you know when the school holidays are, because you're going to be very unlikely to get people turning up for events or workshops and webinars when it's school holidays, because we're all chasing our tails looking after kids. So I, again, will take my calendar for the year. First thing I do is map out the school holidays, block those out. Then I map out the big holidays of the year, Christmas, Easter, any other events or religious observations that you have, and I block those dates out in the visual calendar and in my actual calendar. So now I can see, well, what's left. Then I make sure, have I got any of my own holidays booked or planned for? We block those out. Then I look at the commitments that I have been booked in for that year, such as, are there any speaking gigs I've been booked into? So you can see here on this example, here's at conferences that I'm going to. I've put those in first. There's an event I'm speaking at. There's another event I've been booked to speak at. Another event I've been booked to speak at. We put all of these conferences that we're going to, bookings that have already been made, and we block those spaces out. So what we will then be left with is all of the free availability we've got. And that's when we can now go in and start planning our year of all the things, the events, the workshops, everything that we're going to be running, or the Q&As we're going to be running, so that we know we're not going to be double booking ourselves and the whole year is organized up front. So I've just had a question. Just looking at your questions now. Angelina, hello, Ange. She says, what if you use Outlook for your calendar, not Google? Absolutely fine. You can still use Outlook. Unfortunately, Gemini can't access Outlook though. So all you'd have to do is go into your Outlook calendar, copy and paste all of your events for the next month, chuck that in Gemini and say, please help me get ready for the events. Just the great thing about the native Google is it just automatically can access your calendar if you give it permission to. Whereas obviously the Outlook, you're just going to have to copy and paste your stuff in. Brilliant. Yes. So Cadence just reiterating there. I prioritize my breaks, my holidays, my fun things, and then we add in the work around it. So that should get you super duper nice and organized. And I think that brings us to the end. Let me just have a look at where we're at. Okay, one last little tip. Now we're doing strategic planning today. I need you all to increase your prices today. This is actually an old slide from the last time I ran this workshop. It's now even higher. So the actual statistic was that last time I did this slide, the prices of goods had raised by over 10% since 2022. That's now higher. So if you haven't increased your prices, and I'm going to have to say by 20%, if you haven't increased your prices by at least 20% in the last 6 months, you need to do that today. And that is not you being greedy. It is you literally covering the costs of your own expenses and how they've gone up too. So by the way, Technatics will be increasing its pricing, not on new customers, not on existing customers. My apologies. Only on new customers that come on board from the 1st of January. Anyone who is already a customer of Technatics, you've locked in your price for life, my friends. Your price will not be going up. But anyone who is a new customer from the 1st of January 2026 will be paying a higher subscription fee because our costs have gone up, our service providers' costs have gone up, our staff wages and everything keeps going up. We have to in order to stay solvent. It's just the fact of business. And so you guys are in exactly the same situation. You're going to need to put your prices up as well. Please don't be scared of it. One of the things I say to people is even if you doubled your price today and lost half your customers, you're still earning the exact same amount of money and have half the problems. So, if you've been delivering a good service, they'll still stay and pay. Final slide. Many of you know I've talked about working out what your magical marketing number is. This is about determining how many people do you need to get in front of to actually sell your stuff. Now, I do have a calculator instead of doing this manually. Calculator, Sarah Cordiner. I'm sure it will come up on the internet if I just type that in. There we go. Sarah Cordiner's cold audience calculator for memberships. So I'll pop this in the chat for you. I also have another one for one-off products that basically, if you're running membership, you're going to pop in your goal for the year. Like, let's say you want to make $500,000. Okay, $500,000. You're running a membership. How much is it? I don't know, $97 a month. What's your approximate churn rate? That means the percentage of people that leave every month. Now, if you're using Stripe, you'll see that churn rate in Stripe. Okay, so let's pretend I've got 10% churn rate. And the conversion rate from cold traffic, this means if you're doing cold marketing to cold people, how many of them are likely to buy from you? The best way I like to think of this is if you're in a room with 100 strangers, how many of them would be likely to buy from you? So conversion rate, by the way, in the public market is ridiculously low. It's about 1%. So just to, keep it as brutal as possible and realistic as possible, if you don't know what your conversion rate is, put 1% because obviously it's the lowest it can go. Press calculate, and this is going to show you your important number. So in order to reach this $500,000 goal with a $97 membership, in this example, I need 430 members. So you need 430 members to make $500,000 with a $97 membership. But in order to actually hit our $500,000 revenue, we need to reach 7,800 people per month. That's how many people our marketing needs to be getting in front of. So this is a really important number because the final step of today's class is to create a marketing plan so that we actually get in front of that many people. Because if we don't get in front of that many people, we will not hit our revenue goal. And 99 times out of 100, when I'm sitting with people who come to me and say, Sarah, help, I'm just not hitting my revenue goal. It actually is nothing to do with their sales pages or their offers or the products. They just didn't get in front of enough people. This is pretty much always what it comes down to. It's just math. So our number for memberships, I'd love you to fill that in. And I've just got to find the one as well, Sarah Cordiner calculator. See if I can find the other one for you. Know your numbers, how to calculate it. Oh, I can't find it. Febby, can you see it inside the Technatics account? Sarah Cordiner calculator, one-off product. Just for those of you selling one-off products. Is it on here? Did I link it on here? I should have linked it on here, shouldn't I? Okay, I can't find it. I'm sure Febs will pop it in the chat when she can find it. So Heidi said, how do you define getting in front of people? Right, this is what the marketing plan is for that we're doing next. Getting in front of people literally means any way in which people hear you, discover you, know about what you do. So this is everything from Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts, blog articles when they're Googling, when they go to ChatGPT and ask a question and your name comes up. Are they at an event that you were speaking at? Were they at an event that you were networking at? Is it paid advertising? Is it you going on other people's podcasts as a guest? Is it you doing mail outs in the physical snail mail world? Is it you doing email marketing? Is it you doing a partnership with somebody where you get in front of their audience? Basically, any single way in which a human being sees your face, your brand, or hears your voice. And in a way that you have given some kind of call to action. Come and join my free thing. Book a call with me. Come and buy my X, Y, and Z product. Right? Marketing is people discovering you and, importantly, them becoming part of your ecosystem. So this is exactly what we're doing now. So Heidi, that was an amazing question because you've segued this next part perfectly. Now you know from your calculator how many people you need to get in front of. And Febby has now actually just dropped in the chat the one for a one-off product. So I'll quickly open that out now. That was, oh no, Febs, that was the membership calculator. Inside the same place where that lives in my Techmatics account, there is a second page that's not for a membership. It's for a one-off product. If you can find that, that would be great. So now you know your number that you need to reach in your marketing every single month in order to have a shot at hitting your revenue goal. So here's the final prompt for you today. The final prompt is now getting that number and saying to your preferred AI of choice, this prompt here, taking everything you know about me and my business, and I will copy and paste it into the chat. You've got the slides. Now basically create for me a full marketing plan, a detailed marketing plan. So this will now give you a list of lead generation and marketing methods that you can now go and implement over the next 12 months to ensure that you're hitting your monthly eyeballs goal to be able to hit your revenue goal. Now, guess what? What are you going to do with the result of this? When this marketing plan is produced by your AI of choice, please make sure you take each task and you put them in your Techmatics task manager as a job that needs to be done. Because again, if it just stays on a list, it stays in a plan, it's not going to get done. It's not going to get seen. It's not going to get actioned. Put every single marketing and lead generation strategy that comes out of this prompt into your Techmatics task manager. Assign it to somebody. Delegate those tasks out to other people. So there you have it, my friends. That was our little strategic mapping, strategic planning session today. Have you found this helpful? I'd just love to hear in the comments there. Was there a part of this today that's been the most helpful for you? Was there a big aha moment for you? Has this helped give you more clarity and direction? I hope that now you're walking away from this with a much clearer plan, with that strategic element that is now training your AI for all the future work you do going forward, but also now with a system by which is going to keep you on track all the time without you even having to use your brain. So we've got Ange has said, thank you, Ange. And Andrea has said, got more clarity. Thank you. I'd just love to hear from everyone else on the call today what your takeaways were, what you've liked. Heidi said, I can't wait to do it. Those of you that are not in the Legends Lab WhatsApp chat, please make sure you join that because I would love to hear everyone's progress as you're implementing all of these exercises now over the coming days and weeks. Anne has said, thank you. Lots of homework. It's exciting homework though, isn't it? And Christine said, this is going to be great to help me next year. Thank you. So glad that you found that helpful. Cadence says the questions to ask on a walk were very detailed and holistic. Yes, we're going to all look a little bit crazy walking around talking to ourselves, but we're building empires, baby. We don't care how stupid we look while we're doing it. Diamond said, thank you so much. And Christine said, this is going to be my first time planning out a whole year in advance. Game changer, absolute game changer. Cadence says, I love the simple instructions to keep up to date with the AI changes. I'm glad that's helping. And as we move forward into 2026, my friends, you're going to be getting lots more tech and AI strategy. So help you do everything faster, quicker, and easier. We will be dropping the schedule and the calendar for next year very soon. We're just finalizing some final dates and deliverables. We're also going to be running things a bit more inside the actual Techmatics community, as in we're going to have the Sarah Cordiner Legends Lab app, because that has a calendar in it that allows you to just click on all the live goals and add it instantly to your calendar, and to get the app notifications when we have events and going live, because it's just been a little bit difficult running it outside of that ecosystem. What else have we got? Trin said loves it. David said amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Kerry. Brilliant. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up and let you all go there. Make sure you implement this. Make sure you do this, because this now forms the foundation of absolutely everything else that happens in the next 12 months. Good luck. Have fun. One step at a time, and keep on going. Love you lots. Bye. See ya. Bye.